Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Heart and Home Crew. My name is Courtney, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my 10 tips for thrifting. For those of you that are new here, I love to help you guys up your home through DIY, thrifting, and organizing. And many of you have asked me, where do I find my good thrifted finds? Because I find quite a few of them, honestly, and some of you say that you either don't have good stuff in your area or you just don't know how to find the same stuff. So I put together 10 things that I think about almost every time I go thrifting, and I want to share them with you guys because you asked, and because I want you guys to be successful, because thrifting is so much fun, but sometimes there's an art to it. I also want to say that I did my hair twice for this video, but it is raining today and my hair and humidity, they do not mix well together. So it got big and bulky, and we're doing what we can with it today. So my first tip is probably the best tip. That's right, I am saving the best for first. You don't have to wait till the end of this video, but you should, because there's lots of good tips. Each one will help you. But the first one is that you should go often. And now that may seem obvious, but honestly, you guys, the way that thrifting is, especially nowadays too, there's a ton of turnover. So you can go on a Monday and you can go on a Friday and you're gonna have completely different things. Yes, of course, it also depends on supply and demand, if your area is being shopped over, and also if people are donating a lot. But ultimately, the more you go, the more you're gonna see and the more you're probably gonna find. And this is even true for a day. If you go in the morning and then you go back in the afternoon, sometimes you're gonna find different things. It's a little bit of a luck of the draw, and your chances increase the more that you play the game. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like gambling, where the more you play, the more chances you have to win. I'm not encouraging gambling, I promise. But honestly, the more you go, the more chances you have to find things. And there's not really 100 ways to say that, other than if you can go more often, then you're gonna find more things. So if you go once a month, you're gonna find some things. If you go once a week, you're gonna find more things. And if you go every day, that would be a dream. You're gonna find so much more stuff, just because you're gonna be exposing yourself to more items. My second tip is don't limit yourself. Check multiple places. So when I was growing up, my mom basically just took us to Goodwill, and that was our thrift store. But as I've gotten older, I've realized that there's a lot more out there, a lot more fish in the sea, if you will. And so I found a ton of local thrift stores. If you just go onto Google and type in thrift stores near me, you're gonna have a ton come up, and then you can even see them by rating, what's good, what's bad. You can check them out, because some of them tend to lean more towards clothes, some of them can be more of what you're looking for, and you can get a feel for what you want. But I actually prefer to shop at local thrift stores as opposed to things like Goodwill, because I find that the local ones just honestly have better stuff. And a lot of the times they're for a charity or something like that, so people are more inclined to donate their nicer items. I actually have a thrift store near me that is actually more on the antique side, and I think it's because a lot of their elderly community likes to donate to this thrift store. So I get a ton of good antiques at a fraction of the cost of what it would cost at an actual antique store. Now, don't just limit yourselves to thrift stores. When I say check multiple places, I also mean garage sales, estate sales. Honestly, you guys, the lists are endless for the goodies that are out there. So garage sales, obviously right now is the time of year for that. People are gonna be purging with spring and the weather's getting better. They're gonna start having those Saturday morning yard sales. Check your local listings, check Facebook Marketplace. A lot of people will put their yard sale stuff up there, or if you see one as you're driving by, some people will put their signs up earlier in the week. Snap a picture, remind yourself you wanna go. Community yard sales are awesome, because then it's a bunch of people doing it at the same time, and it's kind of like a one-stop shop, which is really, really cool. But garage sales are awesome for thrifting, because generally you can get everything at a much lower cost, because people just want to get rid of it. They don't want to hold it in their home, and they don't want to list it on Facebook Marketplace. And sometimes you can even, you know, get yourself a package deal. Tell them, oh, can I buy this, this, and that? And will you give me a deal? And most of the times they'll say yes. Estate sales are actually something that might surprise you. I have not gotten into yet, but I want to so badly, because this is where you're gonna find the items that probably would end up in an antique store, but they're at an estate sale. So again, you're probably gonna get a little bit of a discount. And even if you might not quite get a discount, you're still gonna get kind of the cream of the crop, because depending on the person's house, you know, if you have someone who loved gold antique ornate frames, they're probably gonna have a collection, and you're gonna have more to look at, as opposed to if you went to an antique store or a thrift store, then you might just see one or two here randomly. Typically too, they'll run for a couple of days, and so as the days go on, the prices will lower. So if you see something that you like, but you don't really want to bite the bullet the first day, because let's say it's too expensive, you can wait, you know, you're risking it, but then you can wait and go back, and typically it'll be marked down, whether that's 50%, 75%, who knows. And as always, prices are negotiable. So if you come with cash, and if you say, hey, I've got this much, will you take it? Typically, you can use your negotiating power. Estatesales.net is the website that you can use to try and find some in your area, as well as, again, there might be local listings in your newspaper. Does anybody read the newspaper anymore? I don't know. Or on Facebook Marketplace. Okay, piggybacking on number 2, number 3 is Facebook Marketplace is your friend. So some people don't think that Facebook Marketplace counts as thrifting, which I don't fully understand. I think it totally does, and I utilize it almost every day, honestly. I check there all the time. You guys know we are trying to furnish this home through mainly thrifted items just because I love thrifting, and I also find that you can find higher quality pieces at a lower price, which is just so awesome. But I love using Facebook Marketplace because I can keyword search exactly what I want. Am I looking for a French style armoire for my front entry? Let me Google search that and it'll give me some options. Do I need a dresser for my son's room, a bench for my kitchen? You know, basically anything you can think of, it's pretty much on there. And again, if you're checking multiple times in the week, especially when you're specifically looking for something, it's so easy. I literally go on almost every night if I'm looking for something, and I will just type it in, look it up, see what's there. If there's nothing there, I'll check back the next day. I will give you some tips too if you are using Facebook Marketplace and you see something that you're really, really interested in and it's at a great price. I typically respond right away and say, hi, I'm really interested in this. Can I pick it up tomorrow? I'll bring cash. And that shows that you're really interested, because a lot of the times, especially if you've dealt with Facebook Marketplace before, people will say, hi, is this available? And you'll say yes. And then, you know, they just go into the zone of the world. They just disappear. Do you know what I mean? Like, it shows that you're interested and they're more likely to respond to your message quickly. And it just kind of eliminates that back and forth that you would have to do of like, hi, is this available? Yes, it is. Okay, great. And then sometimes you can get lost because they're talking to multiple people at the same time, especially again, if it's a great item at a great price. So I lay it out on the line. I'll pick that up tonight. I'll bring my cash. Tell me what I need to do and I will get this piece from you. And that is exactly how I get so many great finds. But honestly, you guys, so much of my house is Facebook Marketplace. So if you don't think it counts as thrifting, I'm telling you that it does, and it's awesome. Let's go back to thrifting in the real world, not online. So my tip number 4 is have a game plan. Now this might seem a little bit extreme, but honestly, you guys, sometimes I take thrifting very seriously, especially because it's just 1, really fun, but also 2, I mean, it's basically whoever gets there first gets it most of the time. So I like to have a game plan if there's something specific that I'm looking for in my home. You guys know that I love thrifting frames and baskets, and you know, I'm kind of cooling down on the baskets, a little bit on the frames, but I'm always looking for ornate gold frames. And so if that's something specific that I'm looking for, then that's gonna be the first thing that I look at when I shop at my thrift store. I know that I'm going immediately to the frames, giving them a once over. If I can't find what I like, or if I do find what I like, awesome, put it in my cart, and then I go to, what else am I looking for? Am I looking for lamps to furnish my house? Am I looking for, you know, dishes because I sold all of mine and I need new ones? Then I'm gonna go A, B, C, D. Again, this might sound a little extreme, but it works for me because then I don't feel like I missed anything, especially if, you know, you're there first thing in the morning and you see someone walking around in their cart and they have that gold frame that you wanted, and you're like, dang it, I missed out. And that's specifically what I'm looking for. Of course, there's gonna be times where you see something in someone else's cart, which this is a bonus tip, don't look in other people's carts because it's just gonna break your heart. But I don't wanna have that thrifting regret. And so I will immediately go to that spot, check it out, be like, okay, that's good. It didn't have what I wanted, and keep moving along to what I need. And then I kind of save the things that I'm not looking for, but I just want to look for fun to see what I have for the end. So that would be like, am I looking for a pair of jeans? Or, you know, I love looking at the trinkets, but I don't really need that right now. I'll do that last. And again, you might think I'm psycho, but it works. Okay, tip number 5 is an interesting one, and that is to look on Pinterest or follow other thrifting accounts to kind of get inspiration. So sometimes you can go into the thrift store, I know I'm speaking about myself personally, and I'll see something, I'll be like, oh, that's cool, but I don't really know how I would ever use that, so I'm gonna leave that behind. And literally within that week, I'll see someone use the exact same thing on Pinterest or on Instagram, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, that's genius, and it's so cute, and I literally just saw that, but now it's too late. It's probably gone, but that's such an interesting way to use that. And so I love following different accounts to just get ideas and inspiration to see how to use some thrifted items that you might not have thought otherwise. And I'm not trying to say this in a way of just like grabbing random knickknacks because someone else has them, but I just mean when you're a thrifter and you love antique items, it's fun to display them in certain ways, and just other accounts can help you see how to do that, especially when you're in a thrift store. You know that those shelves can be so crowded and it's kind of hard to see what's happening or what's going on. Having those inspiration ideas in the back of your head, or maybe even screenshot on your phone, it will help you. So when you go and you look, you can say, oh yeah, I remember I saw that, and that would actually look really cute in this part of my kitchen or something like that. So definitely recommend it. I just think it's so fun to see how other people style their homes with these items that you just see all the time, but you're like, how would I do that? And it looks so beautiful in their space, and it just gives me inspiration to do it in my own. Okay, so kind of piggybacking off of that tip as well, for number 6 is that have a list of things that you are looking for, whether that's needs or wants, so you don't forget. That's my biggest flaw, is I feel like I always have little areas that I'm like, oh, this would look cute there, this would look cute there, but I forget to write it down. And then you go to the thrift store and you see things and you leave and you come home and you're reminded of when you look in that spot again, of, oh yeah, I really did want a crock pot for my counter, not a crock pot, like a crock for my counter to hang utensils in or whatever. You wouldn't hang them, you'd put them in, but you know what I'm saying. Guys, if you have met me before, it's the fact that I don't speak English very well sometimes, even though it's my first language and only language. So just go to your phone, write in your notes, I'm looking for a dresser for my son. I'm looking for a cute little shelf for my daughter's room. Whatever it is, knickknacks for the kitchen, something to hang on my pegboard in my front entry, whatever it is, you guys, keep that running list. And so that way when you go, before you go into the store, you can quickly run through it. It just jogs your memory. Because again, when you go to the thrift store, sometimes it can be overwhelming because there's just so much to look at. So it just kind of pulls you back a little bit, narrows down your focus, and says, okay, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. I find that to be very helpful when I start using it. I'm gonna start doing that, I promise. It's a really good idea. I need to use it myself. I'm not good at it. Okay, number 7 is important. Like we talked about, we don't want to become thrifting hoarders, and that is to only buy what you love. So when I first moved here and we had nothing, we sold everything to Canada when we came to the States, for those of you who don't know, I went to the thrift store and I was just excited and I was like, yes, that's cute, that's cute, that's cute. And mind you, it has paired well because I'm still needing some more decor items for different areas of my home. But I find that if you're new to thrifting, it can kind of be a little bit of like an adrenaline rush where you're like, oh, this is so fun, this is so exciting, this is so cute, let me buy this. But you can quickly just come home with a lot of stuff after a while. So now I've gotten a lot better of going and looking at it and saying, does this make my heart sing? Like, is this beautiful? Is it gonna serve a purpose? And sometimes the purpose is honestly just to bring you joy. But when that joy is constantly and all the time, and now you have just stuff everywhere that's not really serving you, you know, that's not good. So make sure when you go that you don't kind of get caught up in the rush of thrifting and you're taking time to say, again, this is beautiful or this is really nice, but like, do I need this? Do I already have this at home? Do I have a place that I could put this where I'm actually enjoying it? Or is it just gonna go in a bin under my bed kind of thing? So, because antiques are precious, you know, they're beautiful and they're sweet, and not even just antiques, but thrifted items as well. And we want to fully enjoy them. And sometimes you can't if you've got too much of them. So even going on top of that, don't be afraid to get rid of things as well as you thrift. Just because you thrifted something once doesn't mean that it needs to stay with you forever. This is like a bonus tip. This isn't one of my 10, but that way, yeah, you're just not holding on to just stuff. Like I hope that when you're thrifting, especially for me, it brings me joy. It's just so much fun. And I love seeing these little pieces throughout my home that I, you know, specifically found. You know, you can't find them on a Target shelf or anything like that. It's just so fun. So yeah, make sure you're being thoughtful about your thrifting. Okay, number 8 is kind of going against what I just said, but just hear me out for a second. Don't have thrifting regret. So thrifting regret is when you go into a store and you see something you love, but you're like, you know what? That's just a couple more dollars than I want to spend, or I just don't have the exact spot for that right now, but I really, really love it. And you leave it and you go home and you cannot stop thinking about that piece. And either you go back and God bless you, and it is there and you get to buy it, or you go there and it haunts you. We all have something in our lives that has haunted us that we did not buy when we saw it. And so my advice is buy it because you're never gonna see it again. But again, this is different from just buying anything. This is something that literally, like, you know, when your body's on fire and it's like sparking joy and it's just like, oh my gosh, of course you need to stay in, you know, budget matters. We don't want to be buying things because we love them and then our budget for the month is out and we can't buy our chips and guac. Like, that's just sad. So what I mean though is that, you know, obviously if it's within your budget and that kind of thing, and you know that you're just gonna be so sad if you leave it behind, don't leave it behind. And what I told my friend was, because she was looking at a mirror and it was only $12 and it was for her daughter's room, and she was like, oh, I don't know. And I said to her, I was like, if you buy this mirror, it was like a Hobby Lobby mirror, kind of like a Anthropologie dupe. I was like, you can buy this mirror for $12, and if you don't like it, you can quickly resell that for the exact same price on Facebook Marketplace, or you could even sell that for 20 bucks, 30 bucks, and you made a couple dollars. So, and don't come at me, thrifting resellers, that's not what I'm talking about here. But I just mean, like, if something's going to kind of egg at you that much, I would suggest buying it, because thrifting regret is the worst. 99 out of 100, I can almost say 100 out of 100 times when there's been something that I wanted and I didn't leave it behind, I took it home with me, I have not regretted it. Like, it's just been absolutely, exactly, it just spoke to my soul and I brought it home. But if it did, I could quickly resell it on Facebook Marketplace most of the time for the exact same price you bought it for, and again, if not for a couple bucks later, and then it just kind of pays for that little bit of worry you had, and you can go back and buy your guac and salsa and chips and maybe throw in some extra limes or something. I don't know what I'm saying. Number 9 is really important. When you go thrifting, obviously it's fun to kind of like be, oh, I've got 5 minutes, I'm just gonna pop in and see what I can find and then pop out. But if you can give yourself time, make multiple rounds, because you missed something. I have filmed YouTube videos and reels where I have gone thrifting, and I'll go back and I'll be editing and I'll say, I didn't see that in the back. Like, I was so focused on what I was focused on that I didn't even see some of the things around it. Again, these shelves are crowded. They're just filled with stuff, so you're gonna miss a lot of stuff. So I would backtrack to what my original tip was, and that's have your game plan, go to your frames, and then your dishware, and then your lamps, and then your knickknacks, and then loop again. So go around again if you've got time, because you missed something. And even in that time, somebody in the back may have restocked some stuff, put some new stuff out, you might have missed some stuff. And so yeah, make sure that you double check all of that. So that's just a simple tip, and it seems really obvious, but sometimes we can forget it, or you just don't know. You just think like, oh, I just kind of shopped through the store and now I'm done, because you would never really make like a loop at Target or something like that, but it's totally different. New stuff all the time. Your eyes can't even see and take in all the stuff on the shelves. You for sure missed something. So just do a loop. You might not find anything, but if you did, heck, that's the best. I apologize for saying heck. Last but not least, you guys, after you have listened to all of these rules and, as I say, tips, none of these are rules, guys. You can do whatever you want. I'm just trying to help you kind of narrow it down, or what I do when I go, when I'm looking for something specific. But number 10 is have fun. Obviously, did you guys see this one coming? Thrifting is so much fun. If you haven't done it before, you happen to have stumbled upon this video and you've never thrifted before, my friend, let me take you for your first time. It is so much fun. Honestly, you guys, I just think it's the best thing in the world. I love going in. Everyone's always so nice for the most part, like behind the cash. And I go in and it's just, you know, what's going to await me today? What fun thing am I gonna find? Sometimes I don't find anything, but it's just fun to see and to look and to imagine. I think that's part of why I love it, is just, you know, it's the unknown, but it's also just the inspiration, or it's just the excitement of what could be. And it's just so fun when you find that little piece that you've been looking for, and you, again, normally with thrifting, you get it at a great price and it's a great quality item. That's what I love about thrifting too, is that I think I said it earlier, but you can find pieces that would have been expensive or that somebody else would have paid more money for, and you can find them at a fraction of the cost. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say that thrifting has increased. Definitely it has. It's really unfortunate. I used to be able to go to Goodwill and get like a piece of furniture for $5. It's insane. Now they're starting to charge, you know, the prices you'll find on Facebook Marketplace, 150, 200. So that kind of stinks. But every now and then you can still find great stuff at a lower cost. I found a beautiful blue tall boy dresser, $30, dovetail drawers, Goodwill. I'm happy about it. Even when we went to go pick it up, they were like, who priced that? And I was like, someone who was nice, someone who still understands that thrifting is for people who want to furnish their home at a lower cost. So regardless of it being more expensive, it's still less expensive than Target. And again, you're probably getting more quality items than what you would get at Target. So anyways, you guys, don't forget to have fun. It's the best. And grab a friend. It's always more fun with friends, specifically friends who don't like the same taste as you, so that they're not looking for the same thing, but if they see something you like, they can give it to you. That's the best. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. I hope I wasn't rambling too much. And if you have any other tips that I may have missed, leave them down below. Let's help each other down below in the comments with what we can do so we can find the best finds at an affordable price. Okay, thank you so much, you guys, for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe, because I've got lots of fun content coming. Next week, I'm hoping to have the kitchen reveal for you. I'm really excited. And if not fully finished, things are happening. Like, guys, the cabinets, most of them have been painted. So follow me on Instagram at Heart and Home Crew if you don't already. Lots of behind the scenes there. You guys are the best, and I will see you in next Sunday's video. Bye, guys.